Sean Spicer was on Jimmy Kimmel Live last night for an excruciating 20 minutes of bullshit. Kimmel asked him about everything from his infamous claims about inauguration crowd size to President Trump's tweeting habits. And it's honestly painful to watch. There's clearly an effort by Spicer to become more likable now that he's not constantly lying on behalf of President Trump. But Spicer is loyal to the end, and can't help but constantly make excuses for Trump's always ridiculous and often dangerous behavior. Kimmel pressed Spicer on his lies, just as he should have, at times mocking just how bad President Trump is at his job. But Spicer wasn't having it. He's clearly uncomfortable about acknowledging just how awful President Trump treats both the country and those around him. You can watch the full interview on YouTube, though I wouldn't recommend doing so during breakfast. So when the president would tweet, "Did you have an alert on your phone?" Kimmel asked at one point during the 20-minute interview. Yes, Spicer said sincerely to laughs from the audience. Did he ever run a tweet by you before tweeting it? Kimmel asked. I don't believe. Maybe once or twice, Spicer said. Did you ask him to? Kimmel asked. To run them by? No, Spicer said incredulously. Did it ever wake you up in the middle of the night? Kimmel continued. I think there are times when you wanted to go to bed and it was gonna be a longer night, or you would get up and the first thing. But that was one of the president's most effective tools on the campaign trail and he continues to utilize it, so you were constantly kept on your toes, Spicer said. Later, Kimmel asked Spicer about his constant drumbeat of crying fake news and Spicer whined about how journalists go on Twitter and perpetuate myths. Wait a minute, the journalists go on Twitter and perpetuate myths? Kimmel shouts to laughs. How about the president? But Spicer stuck to his lines. You can look at a set of facts and come out with one opinion, but someone else can say the facts are the same here and I come out with a different conclusion, Spicer said in an attempt to explain away his repeated lies at the podium. So if I were to say to you, I'm sitting on a horse right now, Kimmel said. Well, you're not, Spicer said. Right. Exactly. Kimmel shot back. By the end Kimmel clearly couldn't help but have open disdain for Spicer's excuses. And he flatly asked whether President Trump even wanted the job he currently holds. Do you think Donald Trump wants to be president? Kimmel asked near the end of the interview. Absolutely, Spicer continued. You do, really? Kimmel laughed as the audience scoffed. So best of luck to Mr. Spicer on his redemption tour. You don't get to constantly lie on behalf of the worst president in modern history and get to reinvent yourself as the affable goof. Kimmel didn't let Spicer get away with anything. And hopefully future interviewers do the same thing to this accomplice in the destruction of all the things that make America worth loving.